Welcome back to our live show. The presidential election is fast approaching. Have you put off making major money moves until it's over? Bill recently spoke with a financial advisor on this timely topic, and here's that conversation.
Do you think the presidential election will have an impact on your finances? Yeah, me too. And some people are making big financial decisions about it. Top money expert Bryan is here to share some key financial tips for getting through the political season. And we welcome her to Virginia this morning. Yeah, I think everybody is almost stressed to the max now, whichever way it goes, aren't they?
I know. And I think that the most important part is that I make sure that I communicate clearly that it really only matters what's important to you and your household. I mean, I have to reassure you that there's no other time that it makes it more important, or I should say, this is a vital time that you focus on your financial goals. What is your savings rate? Do you need to increase how much you're saving? Do you have enough emergency fund? How are your investments set up in your allocation? How do you have your beneficiaries updated and everything organized? Because of course, the markets are going to continue to be volatile going forward throughout our lifetime. But I think that it's important in a political environment, in all environments, that we be proactive about identifying our specific financial goals
All right,
and
JB.
how we're going to achieve them and ride out anything that might happen as we approach the election and as we get to the other side of the election, Bill. It's important that you really stay focused on your financial goals.
Well, we really don't have any control of it other than voting, and obviously there's a lot to be taken in for that. And so since we don't have control over all these other things, and things are going to happen, we know that. So, but we just don't know what. So you kind of have to focus on you. What's your goals? So do we do this short term, long term, medium, all? How does that work?
Well, we have to, if you are long term, because there's someone out there that is a short term investor and they're planning on retiring next month or in December. So definitely they're a short term investor, and you need to make sure you're speaking with your financial advisor about focusing on reducing your risk in your investment portfolio regardless of the political environment. Long-term investors, you have to continue to take periodic reviews of your asset allocation. Look at what is important to you, tweak things, change them around as needed, but you're still focused on the long term. But you do need to get to know yourself and say, well, Bill, you know what? Some people think that the long term is a year. So I must say that when I say long term, I'm saying if your financial need for that money that you're saving is for 10 years or longer, short term, I'm thinking 5 years or less.
Well, you mentioned something that was very important is you kind of stay informed, but of course there's all this confusing messages out there too. So we need somebody like you to help us make sure that we're actually getting what's actually going on. The real financial news versus what might be, some might call fake news.
Yeah, well, I mean, there's this long held theory, and I would consider that fake financial news, that stock markets generally are weaker in the first year of a first term president. But actually, the research shows, and this was printed in Kiplinger.com, and they said that the markets are actually up in the first year for Trump, Obama, Bush, and the George W. Bush, and for the Clinton administrations. So if someone says, well, if first year or first term president, based on what, you have to be careful what you're listening to, and be really particular about accepting any forecast about the stock market declining. We don't have any historical evidence to prove that a full 4-year term for a president since Herbert Hoover actually had a 4-year decline. No, so we're going back. The S&P 500 has steadily increased every president since Herbert Hoover. That's a long time.
Yeah.
And that's taking into account 1987, 2001, the technology bubble, 2008, 2009, financial crisis. I mean, think about what we're hearing and make sure that you talk to your financial advisor, research it yourself. Is this actually fact or just fake financial news to get you excited?
All right, and politics is slow. We know that, and we've seen it. It doesn't even work in a lot of cases nowadays. So let's check that box off, keep that in mind. And I've got just a couple of seconds left. You really want people to plan ahead and be ready, don't you, JB?
Definitely, yes. So if you do see, and this is about after the election, and we'll still be there for you, bringing the financial information on Virginia this morning. But you need to think after the election, what are the changes that you see on the horizon, especially in the tax arena? Easy places to identify some anticipated changes, and then make changes in your portfolio correctly. Speak with your advisor about, I anticipate that maybe there'll be tax increases, or I anticipate there may be a change in, say, capital gains taxes. Whatever the thoughts are that you're having based on things after the election, go ahead and plan ahead for those changes. What changes do you need to make in your long-term and short-term financial goals?
All right, and take a deep breath, everybody. And say thank you to JB Bryan, who offers free weekly money seminars and webinars. It's every Wednesday and Sunday evening. You'll find a link to more information at WTVR.com/VTM.